Ever find yourself, like, daydreaming about ziplining through a rainforest? Or maybe catching the perfect wave on some sun-drenched beach?
Who hasn't? Right.
Exactly. And it's all totally doable in Costa Rica. But timing,
Mm,
that's key.
it really is.
So today we're diving deep into this best time to travel to Costa Rica article from travelplify.com to, help us figure out the absolute best time for you to experience those Pura Vida vibes.
And that's the key, isn't it? This article is like our roadmap through the classic dilemma, dry season or green season, both amazing but in totally different ways.
Right. It's like picking between, I don't know, two delicious ice cream flavors. Tough choices.
The struggle is real.
So to help us choose, we'll break down the pros and cons of each season, sprinkle in some cool insider tips from the article.
Sounds like a plan.
And by the end of this, you'll be a total Costa Rica trip planning ninja. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, first up. The classic Costa Rican dry season, running from December to April. Picture this. Sunshine, clear skies, those picture-perfect beach shots, the works.
Definitely.
But here's the thing that's also cool. This is also prime time for, like, wildlife encounters.
Yeah, and we're not just talking about glimpsing a monkey here or there. The dry season really concentrates the wildlife around the limited water sources. So
Yeah.
you've got a higher chance of seeing some pretty incredible animal behavior. Think jaguars on the prowl, scarlet macaws flocking to watering holes.
Wow.
It's like nature's grand stage out there.
Okay, that alone is making me want to book a flight right now. But with anything this amazing, there's got to be a trade-off, right?
There always is. And Travelplify does mention it. Popularity means higher prices, especially for flights and accommodations.
Yeah.
January and February, those are peak season. So yeah, those costs will definitely reflect that.
So maybe not the best time if you're on a super tight budget then.
Probably not.
Makes sense, though. Everyone's chasing that sunshine. Okay, so then there's the flip side, the green season. Now this is where things get interesting, right?
Oh, absolutely. This is when Costa Rica truly earns its name. I mean, think about it. Emerald green landscapes just bursting with life, waterfalls going full force. From May to November, you're experiencing a totally different side of this country.
And a side that's way easier on the wallet, I'm guessing. Fewer crowds got to mean some serious savings there.
You got it. The article actually points out some pretty significant cost advantages during this time. Plus, there's just something magical about having those incredible landscapes practically all to yourself.
Okay, I definitely see the appeal, but let's be real for a sec. When we say green season, we're also saying rain, right? Like a lot of rain.
Well, yeah, embracing a little unpredictability is definitely part of the experience here. But the article makes a good point. The term green season can be a little misleading. It's not like it's a constant downpour.
Good to know.
You'll have sunshine, we'll have those amazing spontaneous rainbows,
Yeah.
and often the rain falls in these like short, intense bursts, followed by, boom, clear skies.
So basically, pack a poncho and a sense of adventure.
Ex-
I can dig it.
Yeah.
Now, the article actually does a great job of breaking down each month within the green season to, really paint us a picture. So we'll take a closer look.
Let's do it. Let's dive into the nuances of each month.
All right, so let's talk about those shoulder seasons like May and June.
Yeah.
What makes them so special for a Costa Rica trip?
Well, May is like, as the article says, the calm before the storm.
Okay.
You're technically entering the green season, but the rain's usually pretty manageable.
Okay.
And the really cool thing, it's a fantastic time for, like, wildlife.
Really? Tell me more.
Yeah. So basically that shift between seasons, it creates this really fascinating change in, like, animal behavior.
Oh, wow.
You might see sea turtles nesting on the beaches or, witness this whole different range of birds as they migrate through.
So it's like a whole other side to like the wildlife experience.
Exactly.
What about June then?
June, yeah, you'll get more consistent rainfall, that's true.
Right.
But it's also when you start seeing those lower prices and fewer crowds.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's a trade-off, right? You might get caught in a shower or two,
Mhm.
but you could have those incredible waterfalls and lush rainforests all to yourself.
That sounds kind of magical, honestly. Trading crowds for like cascading water.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
right.
Now, Travelplify seemed pretty into July and August. What's so special about those 2 months?
They call it the best of both worlds scenario.
Okay.
And I actually kind of agree. July and August give you this really nice balance. You still get those lush landscapes, but the rainfall tends to be less intense than other, like, green season months. Plus, the crowds still haven't totally come back yet.
Okay, so you're saying I could enjoy the scenery without those peak season prices. And D, maybe even dodged a downpour or two.
You got it.
Sounds pretty ideal to me. Now, what about September and October? Those were the wettest, right?
They are, especially on the Pacific coast, which a lot of travelers don't realize that.
Really?
Oh, yeah. But, and this is where it gets cool, the Caribbean side actually gets kind of a dry spell then.
Wait, so you're telling me I could be catching some rays on one side of the country while everyone else is dodging puddles on the other?
Exactly. It just goes to show, understanding those microclimates and different weather patterns can totally change your trip.
That is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about planning strategically, not just by season, but by, like, actual region. Game changer. Okay, last but not least, November and December. Those kind of transitional months heading back into the dry season.
Yeah, November can be hit or miss. The article even says that. You might still run into heavy rain,
Okay.
but you also get those green season perks. So fewer people, potentially some good deals.
So a little gamble, but with, like, potentially big rewards.
Pretty much.
All right, and December.
December, that's the return of the dry season and that sunshine.
Right, right.
Especially towards the end of the month, you start seeing that classic, like, beach weather.
So maybe not the best for those dramatic waterfalls,
Probably not.
but ideal if you want that last-minute escape before the holidays hit.
Exactly. Plus, it's a great time to see, like, the festive side of Costa Rica. Lots of towns will have decorations and celebrations going on.
That's awesome. Okay, so we've covered the entire, like, spectrum of Costa Rica's seasons. Sunny, dry season to the lush green season. We've explored those, like, hidden gems in the shoulder months, and even uncovered a whole world of microclimates. But what does all this mean for our listeners who are, ready to finally book that trip? I mean, it really comes down to this. What kind of Costa Rican adventure are you looking for? Like, are you picturing yourself, I don't know, sipping something fruity on a pristine beach, endless blue skies, that kind of thing?
Right.
Or are you more drawn to, like, hiking through the jungle, waterfalls, wildlife, that whole vibe?
Yeah, it's all about what calls to you, right? And the great thing is, this deep dive, we've given you the info to decide. I mean, that Travelplify article really lays it all out there.
It really does. But you know what I love about it? It's kind of got my brain going with even more questions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like what?
Like, remember how we talked about how the rainy season affects the wildlife? All those crazy migrations, the unique behavior.
Right. Stuff you wouldn't see at any other time.
Exactly. So it got me thinking, how does that, like, abundance of water during the green season actually impact the country's biodiversity, like, for the whole year? Does it mean more plant variety, bigger animal populations in the long run?
That's a great question. It's like this whole ripple effect. Ecosystems are always changing, responding to those shifts.
Pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah.
But, okay, to wrap things up, I think the takeaway here is this. This deep dive is just the starting point. We've given you the tools to plan a trip around your priorities. Sunbathing, waterfall chasing, wildlife spotting, whatever.
And don't forget those microclimates. Do a little extra digging into the specific areas you're interested in.
Yes, use this as your jumping off point.